What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, it looks like Manny Pacquiao versus Timothy Bradley 2 is underway. Manny Pacquiao made his way to the States earlier the week, and they've already started the press conference, so they're already doing the promotional spots, promoting the fight. And from here on out, you should see a lot of. Damn, I had this delicious ass burrito. I don't know if you guys just heard me burp. It tastes fucking disgusting. The burrito was good though. It just that whatever I just burped tastes disgusting. Um, as far as Timothy Bradley, the fight is coming up. Manny Pacquiao. Both fighters want it. Both fighters are looking for that redemption. Timothy Bradley, even though he won the first fight, he's looking for a clear and concise, clear cut win over Manny Pacquiao. No disputes, no controversy. And Manny Pacquiao's trying to get that belt back that he lost to Bradley. So great fight. Glad it's happening. Looking forward to it. One thing I did want to explore is Timothy Bradley as a fighter. And the funny thing is, in boxing, there's all level of fans, and I don't care. You could be a diehard fan, you could be like just a surface area fan. I'm all good with that. The thing I don't understand is when you have people who try to pose as diehard fans, yet they know so little about the sport. And I'm not here to try to clown anybody's level of boxing wisdom. However, just know your role, know what type of fan you are, and be that. Like, you don't see me on my channel making videos about stem cell research because I don't know shit about that. But I would leave that to the people in that field to make those types of videos. So, the funny thing is, some of you guys just know a few key fighters, the big marquee names like Canelo, you might know fighters like that, Timothy Bradley, possibly Pacquiao, Mayweather, and really that's where the buck stops. If it's not Cotto or one of them dudes, you probably don't even know about boxing. And I just feel like some people should play their role. As far as Timothy Bradley and Pacquiao, I don't care who you're rooting for. I literally don't care who wins. I just want the best man to win. I don't want any controversy. I just want to, at the end, when whoever's being anointed the winner, I wanted them to have a successful victory, meaning there's no controversy, no ifs, ands, or like, oh, this or that. I just want the whole world to know that this person won fair and square. That's all I want. This is not a prediction video. This is not a rant. I'm just telling you my honest opinion. And as far as Bradley, I don't understand what it is about Bradley that some people just genuinely despise to the point where they say some of the stuff that they say. And it's to be expected. Um, like I said, sometimes when fighters are undefeated or they have a controversial win, some people will try to hang it over their head for years or whatever. But I think Bradley's resume, I think he just deserves respect based on what he's given the sport. Amateur background, he has wins over, even if you take the Pacquiao win off of his record, he still has marquee names. He beat Devin Alexander early before Sean Porter and Marcos Maidana fought him, even though Maidana lost. But he has wins over him. He beat Lamont Peterson. He beat a lot of guys. He beat Casamayor. Now, when I seen him fight Casamayor, I was like, okay, this dude's out of his prime. But still, you're still in there with a future Hall of Famer and a legend in the sport. So, not having the kind of ammunition and the firepower that some of these other fighters have, that was impressive for him to actually stop Casamayor. Even, I mean, if someone doesn't want to take care of their body or they just become a stepping stone, that's up to that fighter and that fighter's will. Same thing with Danny Garcia. He beat Eric Morales fair and square. And I guess it's just out with the old and with the new. And I'm not saying it like that because I'm a fan of Eric Morales and Casamayor. However, if they're not up to par and they're still trying to compete at this level and you got a young, hungry lion, then this is what happens. This is part of boxing. You have to know when to get out, know when to cash in your chips and, get into training and promoting and that. So for the life of me, I don't understand why some people just despise Timothy Bradley. It just lets me know that some people probably don't know the sport. They just know Pacquiao. And because of that controversial win, everything he does is condemned from here on out. Like Ruslan won. Like Ruslan didn't win that fight. He could have if he did more in the middle rounds, but he let Timothy Bradley back into the fight. As we know, it takes more to dethrone the champion. Ruslan was hungry and he wanted it, but he gassed out in a lot of the middle rounds, and that's where Timothy Bradley came on and started cutting Ruslan's eyes. Therefore, Timothy Bradley won. The first two rounds clearly went to Ruslan, but he went from having his man severely like hurt, where it was something I haven't even seen in boxing in a while. Usually people just get slept or knocked out, or the ref stops it. But for some reason in the Bradley Ruslan, the ref didn't stop it, probably because Bradley was a champion. He wanted to give him the opportunity. And he looked out on his feet and he somehow, some way was able to recover. To me, that's tremendous that he was able to do that. And Ruslan exerted so much energy in doing that. I think in the third round, he threw like 15 punches, which is considerably low for that division, and considerably low knowing you have your man hurt badly in the first two rounds. So for those reasons, that's why Ruslan lost the fight. But it was a good fight. To me, it was a fight of last year, the best fight, the fight of the year, #1 award winner in my book. And I just don't see what the blatant hate for Timothy Bradley is. He's a good boxer. He's not the most powerful guy, but to me, that's intriguing. I like the Gennady Golovkins that'll just knock your block off and you look like you're dying in the ring. Like, that entertains me too, but I also enjoy the pure boxer. And to me, there's something perhaps even more incredible about the journey of a fighter with no punching power who has a name in the division. It's like, how do you have a name? You're fighting guys who are much stronger than you, and you're still undefeated. So that tells you something about Bradley's will to win. Gennady Golovkin, he was just blessed with tremendous fucking brute, barbaric strength, and people in his weight class can't deal with that. So that's amazing in itself because he has that freakish power. But to me, there's something also inspiring about the guy who has no punching power, who is at the complete opposite of the spectrum, yet he's still relevant too. So I'm just looking forward to a good fight with Pacquiao and Bradley, and I think we could silence the critics just by getting a second look at it, seeing what happened. Some people say Bradley won, some people say Pacquiao won. I'm just looking for a better fight from both fighters than the first fight, because it wasn't the best performance from either fighter, in my opinion. I think Bradley has looked much better. He looked better in the Marquez fight. He's looked better in a lot of fights. Same thing with Pacquiao. Pacquiao has classic performances. His classic performances with like Cotto and Margarito, he looked real good, looked real sharp. In the Marquez 4 fight, before he got knocked out, he looked real good. He looked good in that fight. Very sharp, very accurate head movement. And to me, when they stepped in the ring with each other the first time, neither one of them looked that great in terms of what I'm used to seeing. Pacquiao didn't look like his standard shape. He looked a little bit softer than I've seen him in the past. He didn't look as dedicated, didn't have that killer instinct. He was missing a lot. Bradley rolled his ankles, so he wasn't as agile. He didn't have the proper movement like he displayed in the Marquez fight. Just all around, it wasn't the greatest fight or greatest performance from either fighter. So hopefully this will be the set the record straight fight. I just don't understand what all the hatred for Bradley is. People say some of the dumbest stuff. Wheelchair Bradley. Oh, he's going to get it knocked out. Like, I don't know if anyone is watching boxing that are making these statements. He could get knocked out. It's boxing, and Pacquiao definitely has the power to do it. However, you got to keep in mind, look at the odds. The odds aren't in Pacquiao's favor. The odds aren't in Pacquiao's favor for him to knock out Bradley. One, Bradley showed he could take a hell of a punch in the Ruslan-Provodnikov fight and come back to his senses. Two, Bradley, I think, has learned a lot in his last 3 fights, so he seems smarter. I don't know what number I'm on, but another thing people keep the people that are saying wheelchair Bradley and all this extra shit is they're failing to mention one significant thing. Bradley's first fight, he moved up in weight to fight Pacquiao. He had already pretty much cleaned out 140 minus Amir Khan. He didn't want that to disrupt his chances at the Pacquiao sweepstakes, so he elected not to fight Khan and pretty much cleaned house at 140. He did his thing. He was the top dog at 140. Then he moves up. His very first fight, that's a hell of a fight. And you've seen what happened to Pacquiao's last opponent who moved from 140 to 147. He looked nowhere near as good as Bradley because at the very least, I don't know anyone who can look themselves in the mirror and say Bradley doesn't deserve one single round in the Pacquiao fight. Versus the Brandon Rios fight, I didn't give Brandon Rios one fucking round at all against Pacquiao. I thought Pacquiao was just shutting him out. He knocked him down the first round, and really followed up and continued to outbox him. And to me, I just think some people are looking at it ass backwards. You have to understand Bradley's more acclimated to the weight division. Not saying he's going to win because I haven't even made my prediction. I don't even know who I would pick in the fight as of right now. I'm going to watch some more tapes. But to say, oh, wheelchair Bradley, I mean, you'd have to have some pretty shitty luck to roll your ankles twice in against the same opponent when it hasn't happened with no one else. So we'll see. But I think people are underestimating Bradley. He's looked good in his recent fights. He shows he can fight smart. He shows he can fight dumb and still pull out a victory. He showed that in the Ruslan Provodnikov fight. Pacquiao hasn't knocked anyone out since 2009. He could knock somebody out. He always has that equalizing power. However, he hasn't really been much of a finisher. So will he have like a vendetta against Bradley and then come out in the best form of Pacquiao? Possibly. One thing that really intrigues me about this fight is when Brandon Rios fought him, we know Brandon Rios has power, so Pacquiao chose to box more. And when Pacquiao does it, it's all good. But when another fighter chooses to box and they win on a points victory, then they're running. Like, oh, Timothy Bradley ran against Ruslan. But when Pacquiao, coming off of a knockout, doesn't want to get knocked out again, he didn't take any unnecessary risks against Brandon Rios. He just boxed his head off and made it look bad for Brandon Rios. Nobody says anything. But to me, I appreciate Pacquiao. He has to take his career, his family, and everything into consideration. What does he look like getting knocked out by Brandon Rios, a fighter who, in the past, his style has dominated those types of fighters? It could have happened had he fought a dumb fight, but he did the right thing, and that's boxing. He boxed Brandon Rios. Brandon Rios is big, barely can make weight, a new weight class, and he's big, and he can crack. So Pacquiao fought a smart fight, came out with a dominant victory, and that's that. So it's just funny how some people negate certain things when the fighter they like does it, but another fighter does it and they're pussy and chicken and they're running and all kinds of stuff like that. So like I said, I'm just looking for a clean fight. I want to see a good fight. And I haven't made my prediction yet because I don't know who I'm picking in this fight, but I tell you, it's going to be a good one. Like I said, I think Bradley gained a lot of knowledge in his last fight. Another thing that's really intriguing to me is Bradley doesn't have the Rios type of power. So Pacquiao, where he's apprehensive to be on the attack because he was coming off a knockout, I don't know if he's going to be as likely to do that with Bradley because Bradley doesn't have that snap, that pop on his punches. So Bradley versus Pacquiao might look totally different because Pacquiao might go balls to the wall and just come at him because he doesn't fear his power or think he can get hurt from Bradley. So it's going to be a good one, man. It's going to be, I think it's going to be fireworks. Let me know what you guys think. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.